Hey guys, it's Mick. Welcome back to more Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Blind. In the last episode, we took on pretty much a treasure hunting side quest and a little bit else, but in this one, we're going to continue that side quest hell. And to start things off, we received a request on the errand board to meet someone at Aura Memoire, which is probably going to be Horace. Yep, it is most certainly Horace. So, let's go see what Horace has to ask of us. What's up, dude? Oliver, there is something I need to tell you. What is it, Horace? I must tell you about Nazca and Cassiopeia, and about myself. Before you attempt to save Cassiopeia, you deserve to know the truth. So the post-game is, like, canonically before the end of the... Okay, cool. It may take some time, but I hope you can spare the time to listen to what I have to say. Sure, great-great-grand sage. What do you got for me? Thank you, Oliver. Our story begins here long ago, where the kingdom of Nazca once flourished. Though it may appear bleak and barren now, in those days, it was a mighty empire that combined mighty magic with advanced technology. It was a prosperous realm where poverty and pestilence were all but unknown, and its people enjoyed a life of peace and plenty. But man was never wont to count his blessings. That is a very weird sentence. And greed soon reared its ugly head. In spite of all they had, the populace demanded more. Friends turned upon one another, families were torn apart, and each citizen strove to better his own lot and outdo his neighbor. Sounds like a recipe for a right old mess, that. And indeed it was. It led to a series of conflicts that would span centuries, the Wizard Wars. But the course of history was changed with the arrival of a single wizard. Wow, one wizard made that big a difference? Indeed, this wizard wielded not one, but two wands. His mastery of magic was unparalleled, and he soon turned the tide of the war. Dual-wielding wands! Through his power, the bitter conflict that many thought would never end was brought to a conclusion in the space of mere days. Crikey, sounds like someone you'd want on your side in a fight. He was indeed fairy. He was lauded as a hero by all the people in the world, and his reward was the crown of Nazca. Thus did he become the Wizard King. The Wizard King. Cassiopeia. That is a typo. That should be Cassiopeia, not Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia's father. The very same. Now, shortly after peace returned to the world, the Wizard King hid one of his wands in the distant land of Automnia. He sealed it away that it might never be used for evil, Mornstar. Which brings me to my latest puzzle. It has been some time since I posed you a question, has it not? It's been like an hour. I guess it has, huh? Excellent. My question is this. What was the name of the wand that the Wizard King sealed away? I believe you know it well. Speak to me again when you have your answer. It's obviously Mornstar, is it not? We got Mornstar in Automnia, and Mornstar and Astra are said to be twins. So it would make sense that those are both the wands that the Wizard King wielded. Indeed, it was the very wand you carry with you now. I wonder how the valley where it was sealed fares. In those days, it was filled with the most beautiful flowers. I hate to disappoint, but it is not like that. It is very much a poison mountain now. I'll be waiting for you, Oliver. Come and find me. So he wants us to meet him at the Tombstone Trail then, Is he gonna want us to get to the very top, or will he be satisfied with just the bottom of the Tombstone Trail? Let's see. He wants us to meet him at the very top, so I guess I will see you there. Wait, what? What is happening here? Why is this thing golden? That's unique. Is it just like a powered up version of the Trumpy Pumper, or is there something unique about it? Will it like give me a bunch of experience or something? Is it like a metal slime? Ooh, I hope so. I can't tell. I can't tell if there was anything unique about the gold familiar other than its color. Maybe they're used for farming rare drops? Because the experience game wasn't really anything to write home about. Maybe they are considered different entities from their original. So like for that achievement to get 250 unique familiars, maybe the golden counts towards that. I'm not sure. Regardless, we are just about here. There you are, Horace. I can't believe you made me run all the way back up this mountaintop, you jerk. Also, a thought that I'm going to check just before... No, it does not look like we have one of those black orbs here. Okay. Alright, what's up, Horace? What do you have to say to me here? Thank you for coming, Oliver. This valley changed so much. It was once a place of beauty, awash with flowers of every color. No matter. What's done is done. Now let me continue my tale. The Wizard King ascended the throne and won great renown as a just ruler, treating all his subjects equally, be they human or otherwise. They, in turn, repaid him by rallying round their new monarch, and together they rebuilt the ruined realm more swiftly than any had thought possible. So he got all the beasties pulling their weight too, did he? Never knew that, man. Nice. Indeed, the Wizard King truly was a man like no other. It was then, with the kingdom all but rebuilt, that he chose 3 servants from among his subjects. A swashbuckling sea captain to represent the race of man, a great wolf to represent the animals, and a serpent lord to represent the creatures. Those are the 3 we fought to get the orbs for Mornstar, yes? Each was wholly devoted to his master, and did all that the Wizard King asked. But of the 3, the serpent lord was the wisest, and most committed to his master's cause. He was known as the King of Cobras, and what a mind he had. Ah, to think how he was then. This seems as good a time as any for your next question. You've encountered these 3 servants of your travels, but can you recall the name of the mighty snake you face? I'm sure listening to me will serve to jog your memory. Speak to me again when you have your answer. Yes, of course! It was a pet. Named after the Greek deity, or Egyptian deity of the same name. Was it not a pep? Let me check my... Was it in my... No, it's in the monster list is in the telling stone. Creature companion... Oh, so the golden monsters are definitely, like, unique entities, then. Okay. Oh, it's spelled with 2 A's, not 1. Of course. How silly of me. There we go. That is correct. Though the 3 servants achieved so much, their reward was to be chased without dignity from the kingdom they helped to build. But perhaps that is a tale for another day. Yes, we will continue our tale in the very ruins where you faced a pep. I will tell you of how the Wizard King's 3 most loyal servants were driven to the path of evil. Until then, Oliver. My God! Alright, I guess we're going there next. We're going to Frogland. Alright, Horace, I'm here. You about done sending me across the damn earth to hear one story? Come on, man. I ask you to get to the point already. I have other side quests I would like to do. I said I would tell you of how the three keepers were driven from the kingdom, how they became evil. Below the king, at the head of the Noscon government, sat the Council of 12, a group of lords known as the Zodiarchs. They were responsible for the day-to-day running of the kingdom, and were supposed to be the ruler's closest advisors. But the Wizard King's rise to prominence was a source of consternation for the Council, who feared his great power and the loyalty he commanded amongst the keepers. And so, as soon as Noscon was rebuilt and stability restored, the Zodiarchs conspired to assassinate him, and their conspiracy was a success. That's horrible. With the Wizard King eliminated, the Council had complete control of the kingdom. The king's infant heir, Queen Cassiopeia, became no more than a puppet. To compound their villainy, the Council successfully implicated the Keepers in the assassination, and they were banished from Noscon. Apep lost all faith in humanity, and soon the power of the stone in his possession began to corrupt him, transforming him at last into a servant of evil. Indeed, it was he who reduced this once great city to the ruins you see before you now. That's bad, but you've got to feel sorry for him, ain't it? Being framed for murdering your mate would be enough to make anyone go off the rails. Perhaps, but Apep possessed great wisdom. None could have predicted that he would suffer such a spectacular fall from grace. Speaking of predictions... Yes, open the book. You mean the Wizard's Companion? I do. As you may or may not know, its authors were able to see into the future. Turn to the final page. A prophecy is written there. A prophecy of what would become of a certain individual. That person's name, too, is hidden there. Can you discover their identity? This puzzle is much like life. You must start at the bottom and work your way to the top. Not forgetting to begin at the beginning, of course. The solution is not a simple one, or the worthy wizard will see to the heart of the problem. Okay. So, the very last page, you say. So, this one? Yeah, it's gotta be this one. Let's see. Thanks, PSN. Out of darkness comes light. Keep this book ever at your side, wizard, and you shall one day be called a sage. Permit us to leave you with a poem, a prophecy. Heed it, and repeat not the mistakes of the past. High above the clouds, the child of white light, cast the world once more into darkest night. The path unto the dawn was never fair, it is one fraught with suffering and despair. Well knoweth she of both their power, entombed there in her ivory tower. Though full many have sought to reach her keep, its walls are too high, its mysteries too deep. Hope springeth yet amidst the flowers, when you find them you will find her bower. Each time you fear that you have lost your way, hark unto the child, mark what she would say. To your own self be true, all rests upon you. So it's either Oliver or Shadar is what I'm getting from that. So I'm gonna type in my own name first. Oliver. That's not it. Then, oops. Shadar, perhaps? No? You must start at the bottom and work your way to the top. You can ignore almost every letter of it. I'm I'm not sure I quite get it. If you can ignore every letter of it, then he's talking about the pictures, perhaps? But if we're thinking about the poem, the only other thing that Let's read it in reverse, because he did say from bottom to top, but the only thing I can think of the poem referring to is the White Witch. But to your own self be true, all rests upon you. Hark unto the child, mark what she would say. Each time you fear that you have lost your way. When you find them, you will find her bower. Hope springeth yet amidst the flowers. If the walls are too high, its mysteries too deep, though full many have sought to breach her keep. Entombed there in her ivory tower, well knoweth she of both their power. It is one fraught with suffering and despair. The path unto dawn was never fair. Cast the world once more into darkest night. High above the clouds, the child of white light. Yeah, the only other person I can think to that could even refer to is the White Witch. So I'm gonna enter that in and hope for the best. There you go. Really? Okay. Perhaps one day the people of this world will see that the White Witch had nothing but the best of intentions, but first she must make amends for what she did. Despair is no excuse. I guess you're right. I remember when she was a kind little girl who loved flowers above all else, but that is a story for another time. If you are interested, I plan to visit a cave that lets one see into the past. I wish to see the old Cassiopeia once more. There's a cave that lets you see... Yeah, the ice cavern, was it not? Because we saw a couple memories there. You have not heard of it? I am certain that it is mentioned in that book of yours. When you have discovered its location, come and gaze into the past with me. Until then, all of... Yeah, I'm almost certain that he's referring to the ice cavern that we fought the wolf in, because that was... Because as I said, we saw memories of the past there, so I can't think of anywhere else that it would be. So yeah, the Glittering Grotto. Which means, once again, I gotta go through dungeons. See you in just a sec. And yep, here he is. Not at the end of the dungeon this time, thank goodness. But yo, I found you again, Mr. Horace. What now? Flowers always held a special significance for the people of the kingdom of Nazca. They were seen as sacred symbols of peace and hope. Queen Cassiopeia loved nothing in the world more than flowers, and her every free moment was spent tending to her garden. Her castle was always bursting with color, with beautiful, bright flowers of every imaginable hue. Cassiopeia grew to be a splendid, spirited young woman, everything her father could have wished for, and all that I had hoped she would become. I knew her from when she was a mere babe in arms, but I digress. This talk of flowers and gardens, it reminds me, you have a wand made from an old stick, do you not? Oh, you mean the one P gave me? That wand was a gift from the Wizard King and I to the young Cassiopeia. It was? Jeepers. On it, we engraved our most deeply held wish for the princess's future. Oh, it was so long ago. I wish to hear those words again. Tell me, Oliver, what does it say? That is a very good question. What does it say? Does it... Okay, so it doesn't give me the pop-up chart, so gotta pull into my game manual and see just what it says here. Okay. Right to left. B R I/J. I'm going to assume I in this case. N. G. So bring. Okay. H. O. P. This is gonna say hope. And E, yep. Their wish is to bring hope. Okay. I got it, Horace. I'm just gonna write it in all caps and see if it accepts it. Alright, Horace, you want to... There should be a space key rather than just a blank slot. But you want to bring hoop. So it does accept all caps. Our most deeply held desire was that the people of Nazca should never lose hope. The hope of a brighter tomorrow. But what befell the realm after the Wizard King's untimely demise put paid to any such wishes. The Council of 12 devoted themselves solely to personal gain, and thought nothing of the plight of the people. If only I had done more. What do you mean, Horace? I said that I would tell you the truth, did I not? There is something I must confess to you. Something I did. An act for which I could never forgive myself. Come to the Ivory Tower. To the chamber where the council sat. There, I shall tell you everything. Until then, Oliver. So he's finally going to be getting to the point of all this? Thank goodness. It's been... Man, this has been one giant travel all around the world. So, to the Ivory Tower. There doesn't seem to be a fast travel to it, so I guess we are flying there ourselves. And then we're gonna have to go through the... Oh, man. Also, I believe... Yeah, there's another side quest we can pick up here, so we may as well see what it is while we're in the area. What's up with you three? Good of you to join us here in the clouds. We await your coming. What for? Our queen let him here, then he must surely possess the power we require. I would like nothing more than to believe you, but how can our queen see clearly when she is enveloped in unfathomable darkness? Can you... Yeah, what are you trying to ask of me? This fairy is a feisty one, is he not? Okay. So you're a good part of the Queen's heart, is it? Then what is it that you want? Yes, I can listen to your request. No part of our world was spared the horror and turmoil of the Wizard Wars. As each side vied for advantage, new weapons were devised which fused steel, stone, and sorcery, weapons known as Magimex. Of course, the Magimex stationed around the palace are mere replicas. The originals were vastly more powerful. When the war ended, these weapons were deprived of their purpose, and one by one they became dormant, a state akin to eternal sleep. Or so we believed. It now seems that some have reawoken. and all 4 Magimeks have emerged from their slumbers. Perhaps the reappearance of the Ivory Tower disturbed them. We are not certain. In any case, these magical weapons are unwanted relics of that wretched conflict. They have no place here in this time. We have faith that our queen's heart will be restored to its former purity, and when this happens, we would spare her the sight of such tragic vestiges of Nazca's past. This is why that we ask you help the Magimeks return to their slumber. So they want us to destroy the 4 Magimeks all over the world. Let's see. I have them all noted down because I figured they would be important somehow. So there's one Tombstone, the one in the Tombstone Trial, one in Golden Grove, one on Old Smoky, and one in the Glimmering Grotto. So yeah, we can definitely go. We can definitely go and do that. Though if they're much stronger than the Illusion Magimeks, I'm a bit worried about that. But either way, we have someone else we must meet here. So, see you fellas! Yo, Horace. I made it! Now, are you gonna finally tell me what this is all about? Long before I ever became known as the Sage of Ages, I fought in the Wizard Wars alongside my teacher, the Wizard King. I often think of those days. How long has it been since I was here last, I wonder? Blimey, Horace, you're saying you've been to this gaff before, like? Indeed I have. In the years after the Wizard Wars, I occupied the 10th seat on the council, taking the zodiacal title of Gallus. I had a feeling, but I was never sure that they were one and the same. But I guess that confirms it. Gallus, but isn't that, you know, him? Ah, yes, the Wizard King's ruse, even in death to protect his daughter. That was later, of course, after my seat had become vacant. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. When I sat on the council, to my undying shame, I failed to notice the plotting of my fellow councillors. I who thought myself so wise. They disposed of the Wizard King and his 3 servants. Then they turned their attention to any who might yet stand in their way. And they considered me an obstacle to their complete domination of the kingdom. Sensing the grave danger I was in, I fled Nazca. I intended to bide my time, to rally forces loyal to the crown, and return to exact my revenge on the council, but the choice I had made was wrong. I should have remained at the Queen's side. But you couldn't, could you? Those rats in the council were gun for you, man. Is it a risk that I should have taken? By leaving, I sealed the fate of the entire kingdom. Allow me to explain. In addition to my duties as the Zodiac, I had been charged with educating Queen Cassiopeia in the ways of magic. I took it upon myself to create a compendium of spells and arcane knowledge which I presented to the young queen. A compendium? You mean like a spell book? You mean... I rather think you know what I mean, but allow me to ask you the question. For old time's sake, what was the name of that book? The Wizard's Companion. So you're the author? I see. This text box is much bigger than other text boxes are, which is kind of hilarious. The Wizard's Companion. Yes, you are quite right. I wrote The Wizard's Companion to aid Queen Cassiopeia in her magical education. But little did I know that this book would lead directly to the disaster that befell Nazca. You can't be flippin' serious! How could the Wizard's Companion have led to Nazca's destruction? What the heck are you on about, man? In my desire to create a tome fit for a queen, I included all manner of arcane magic. including the forbidden spell. But I failed to include detailed notes on the rights and wrongs of using such potent incantations. And I fled the kingdom before I could teach Queen Cassiopeia of the perils of the forbidden spell. I was so busy brooding on what manner of revenge I would exact on the council that I failed in my duty of care to the queen. That is how she arrived at her fateful decision. That is why she did not know the true power of mana. But it is my fault that Noskov fell, and that Queen Cassiopeia was transformed into the White Witch. How could I ever make amends for what I did? It was unforgivable. Reduced to a spirit, doomed to roam the world for all of eternity, how could I ever save that poor girl from her fate? That is why I must humbly ask you to right my wrong, to save the queen. You are the only one who can, Oliver. Don't worry, Horace. We'll save Queen Cassiopeia. We'll save the whole world. You'll see. You have my thanks. And I have some alchemica formulae for you. Formulae that I neglected to include in the Wizard's Companion. I pray that they will aid you on your quest. And now for my final contribution to your cause. Please accept this. A Mirror of Truth and 10,000 guilders. No merit stamps, though. What is the mirror? Is it a key item? A magical mirror, said to contain a great truth. No reflection appears when one gazes into it. Ingredient? Excuse me? Just what recipe am I gonna use this thing in? The Sky Tree wand, huh? I see. And how does that compare to Astra? It has greater regular attack, but much greater regular attack, but not great magical attack, which is what we want. Our regular attack is just not something we do with Oliver. And we are finally done with that quest. So I think I'm going to end this video off here. That was a lot. So thank you so very much, everyone, for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one, where we take on whatever quest I choose to focus on next. See you then.